Hey there, welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. All right, it's June the 1st as of the time I'm recording this video, and that means that it is another month. The month of May is behind us with Memorial Day holiday, graduations, and everything that goes with the unofficial start of summer. Now we're in the month of June, and that means that if history holds the form, we should expect to see in a matter of weeks the July Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion Collection sale. If history holds the form, Barnes & Noble typically holds a 50% off Criterion Collection title sale twice a year, in July and November. So if that history holds up, and that's a big if, but pretty strong indication that we should be getting a 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble in July. So in keeping with that, I have a list here, a nice stack of 11 recommendations that I want to share with you of titles in the Criterion Collection that you should consider for this July sale, whether you're a veteran Criterion collector or if you're new to the game of collecting Criterion titles or boutique physical media. There's something in this stack for you. So it's an eclectic mix of titles from filmmakers from around the world, different genres of cinema, different periods in cinema. And I'm covering 100 years of films in this stack. It's going back from 1923 to 2023. So got a real nice eclectic mix of titles for you. So on the other side of this, we will get into it. We'll share my top 11 Criterion titles for you to consider, essential additions for your collection. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. All right, let's talk about these 11 Criterion Collection titles. I do have my notes in front of me that I will refer to because I gotta, keep track of things. My memory, I don't know about y'all, but my memory is not what it used to be. And I don't think it ever was great. So bear with me as I will look down and refer to my notes because I want to make sure that I am conveying to you all the good information that you need to know about these titles. I will say up front, there are 11 titles here. 10 of the 11 titles I have reviewed on this channel. So definitely check out my reviews to these Criterion Collection titles in my Criterion Collection Blu-ray and 4K reviews playlist that I will attach to the description of this video. And also, if you are interested in Criterion Collection content and other content related to other boutique labels like Arrow Video and Kino Lorber, consider subscribing to this channel because I cover a lot of Criterion Collection in terms of reviews and different news in the world of the Criterion Collection. I also do reviews of Arrow Video and Kino Lorber titles. So if that appeals to you and you like that type of content, definitely consider giving this channel a subscription and also click the like button as well because that helps in terms of letting the YouTube algorithm know that people are engaging with this content. So with that out of the way, let's get into these recommendations, starting with my very first one. I'm going to go in chronological order, starting over 100 years ago in 1923. Our good friend Charles Chaplin directed this film here, A Woman of Paris. A fantastic film. This is an early Charlie Chaplin production, and it's a true surprise. I mean, this is an amazing film. So we all know, or most of us know, Charlie Chaplin as the tramp. He plays a tramp character, and he starred in pretty much most of his films that he directed, with a few exceptions, and this is a major exception, A Woman of Paris. He decided to stand behind the camera only and let someone else star in the film. And that star was Edna Purviance, who starred with him in a number of films before this movie in 1923. And this time he told her, hey, I want you to take the lead. This will be a good boost to your career and a great opportunity for you. And I think she made the most of it. This is a fantastic film. And it's really a film that shows Charlie Chaplin's dramatic sensibilities as a director, and it offered a sophisticated take on love, sacrifice, and social class. It is a wonderful film. This is in black and white, of course. It's a silent film. So again, we're talking about different genres of cinema. This is a silent classic from one of the great silent filmmakers of all time, Charlie Chaplin. So this is from 1923, it's Woman of Paris. It is spine number 1253, if I'm reading this correctly, in the Criterion Collection. This recently came out this year, and it is a high recommendation from me to you, A Woman of Paris. Fantastic film, and it'll be a real gem in your collection. Definitely consider A Woman of Paris in your collection. That's my number one recommendation. 10 more to go with this title here in 1950. So we're going to transport ourselves 27 years into the future from 1923 to 1950. One of my favorite actors of all time, James Stewart, directed by Anthony Mann in a Western film. So you got to have a good Western in this list. If you got a list of 11 Criterion titles, you got to have a Western, and you can't go wrong recommending this one right here, Winchester 73. This is a lean, tense Western that helped redefine the genre in the post-war era. You have Jimmy Stewart. He gives a gritty, nuanced performance, and director Anthony Mann infuses his story with psychological depth. This is a 4K release from the Criterion Collection. Now, Woman of Paris is on Blu-ray, but this is on 4K and Blu-ray. And I have to say that the picture is fantastic. I did a review of Winchester 73 on this channel, so definitely check it out, as well as my review of Woman of Paris. But this is a great 4K picture of this title. You see here, you get in this release the 4K and the Blu-ray. You get this nice pamphlet. This is a fantastic release. You learn more about Anthony Mann, more about James Stewart, and kind of how they came together to make multiple Westerns. And this was one of the Westerns that they did together. I think it might have been the first one they did together. I'll have to double check that. But they did, I think, 5 Westerns together, including Winchester 73. And this is an absolute fantastic film. It's really a story about a particular rifle and how this rifle goes into the hands of different people, and things don't necessarily turn out great for those who bear this special weapon, this Winchester 73. James Stewart gives a fantastic performance in this, and it's just a fantastic Western that I highly recommend. To include a Western in this list is a must, and you cannot go wrong by including Winchester 73. So that's Winchester 73. 2 recommendations down. We've talked about a silent classic from Charlie Chaplin. We got a good Western from Anthony Mann starring James Stewart. Now we're going to our 3rd recommendation here, 3rd of 11. Now we're going to go into some sci-fi territory, and we're going to go into the 1960s, 1966. This is from the same director that gave us The Manchurian Candidate with Frank Sinatra earlier. I forgot what year, but I think it came out before this film. This is a film from 1966 starring Rock Hudson. It's a sci-fi, eerie type of film, and it's called Seconds. It is spine number 667 in the Criterion Collection, and this is a high recommendation. This is a mind bender of a film. It's from John Frankenheimer. It stars Rock Hudson in a career-defining role. It's a psychological thriller that's in a sci-fi format that's as haunting as it is visionary. It taps into themes of identity, regret, and the illusion of reinvention. Basically, you have this man who is an older man who gets an opportunity at maybe a second chance at life to go under the knife and become younger physically in the face. And he has a chance to basically look like Rock Hudson, like 25 years younger and living a fresh new life. And that opportunity presented to him brings some complications that he did not anticipate. And it's just a very fascinating sci-fi story from the 1960s that I highly recommend. This is a good one. The cinematography by James Wong Ho is stunning, moody, off-kilter, and deeply unsettling. If you like films that linger with you long after they end, this is an essential title to add to your collection. This is a title that will be a little unnerving, a little unsettling, just based on the cinematography and the disorientation that this character is going through throughout this film. It is an absolutely fantastic, fantastic film. You know, it says here on the back, it says this paranoid symphony of canted camera angles, courtesy of famed cinematographer James Wong Ho. So that's part of the way this film was shot. That's part of the way that John Frankenheimer directed it, to really instill this sense of dread that you, the viewer, are experiencing with this character played by Rock Hudson. It is a really good film. I won't spoil it for you in terms of the conclusion, but it is a thriller, and it is definitely one you ought to consider adding to your collection. This sci-fi thriller from the 60s, Seconds. So this is the one title of the 11 that I have not reviewed on this channel. So I have not done a review of Seconds, but let me know in the comments section, would you be interested in me doing a review of this title on this channel? Let me know that in the comments section. And if you have seen any of these films, definitely drop a comment in the comment section and letting us all know what you think about these movies, as well as let us know what some of your recommendations are for this upcoming July Barnes & Noble 50% off Criterion sale. All right, so that's 3 down. We got 8 more to go, and the 4th title that I will cover here is a title that stars the late, great Gene Hackman. So now we're going into the 1970s, the mid-1970s. This is a film that I saw for the first time with this new 4K Ultra HD release. This is a film by Arthur Penn, and it is a wonderful modern, I guess modern at the time, but a modern noir classic. It is Night Moves. Fantastic, fantastic film. Stars Gene Hackman. He is a private detective who gets the job of trying to find this missing young lady, who's played by Melanie Griffith in her first role in a film. This is a fantastic film, folks, that I thoroughly enjoyed from Arthur Penn. It's a neo-noir from Arthur Penn, and it might be one of the greatest 70s detective stories that I've ever seen. You know, you have Gene Hackman. He plays a disillusioned private investigator in a story that spirals into moral ambiguity and existential dread. It is a mystery, but it's also a commentary on post-Watergate America and post-Watergate life. This is 1975, so it is the year after Mr. Nixon, boarded, Marine 2, I guess, or Marine 1 or whatever, to head back to California after handing the keys to Gerald Ford and saying, okay, you take it from here. I'm out of here. So it's that post-Watergate era type of a film. And this film beautifully exemplifies and captures that era of history. This is a great film. If you're a fan of Gene Hackman, his performance in this is wonderful, which should be no surprise because I cannot think of a single film where he starred in it, where I walked away thinking, oh, well, Gene Hackman, he wasn't that great. He phoned it in. I can't think of a single example. Can you? If so, let me know in the comments. But yeah, Night Moves on 4K Ultra HD, fantastic film. Highly recommended. It's a mystery of him trying to find this young lady he's in California, she's in Florida. He finds her at some point, but it's more than just finding her. It's also dealing with the things going on in his personal life as well. So he's wrestling with this mystery, but also wrestling with issues within himself. And that's part of the charm of this amazing film and what really draws you in. So that's 4 down, 7 more to go. The 5th title that I'll cover here, it takes us to the 1980s. So we keep going into the future here from 1923 to 1950 to 1966, 1975, now 1983. And I just saw the latest Mission Impossible film, The Final Reckoning, starring Tom Cruise. But before he did any of those Mission Impossible films, he starred in this amazing coming-of-age film from 1983 from director Paul Brickman. That was one of my favorite releases of last year. It is Risky Business, folks. I tell you what, I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed rewatching this film after so many years. I mean, seeing this again on this 4K is beautiful. It looks amazing. And this is just one of those films that is just iconic. You know, you have the iconic Tom Cruise dance in his underwear moment, but there's so much more going on in this smart, stylish coming of age film. It's satirical, it's sharply directed, and it's visually elegant in a way that most 80s teen films aren't. You know, this 4K release is really, really something else. It's beautifully photographed and it's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, the music in this is great. It is a top-notch film all the way around. And I have forgotten how funny this film is. This film is at some points hysterically funny, but it is a fantastic film with Tom Cruise, Rebecca De Mornay, and this whole supporting cast. It is one heck of a movie. Thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. Risky Business from 1983. It is Spine 1227 in the Criterion Collection. Highly recommended. I did a review of that one on this channel. Again, I've reviewed all of these titles that I'm sharing today with the exception of Seconds. So definitely check out those reviews on this channel as you are putting together your lists for the July Barnes & Noble sale. If they can be of help to you in making those decisions, definitely check those out. And let me know what you think of them in the comments section. So that's the 1980s from 1983. A little bit later in the same decade, we have one of the greatest comedians of all time, Richard Pryor, in a semi-autobiographical story, Jojo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. This is Richard Pryor's semi-autobiographical directorial debut. I think this is the only film he directed. And it's one of the most personal films in the entirety of the Criterion Collection. You have Jojo Dancer. It dives into themes of addiction, fame, and self-reflection with honesty and a surprising touch of poetry. It's a film that I think many people might not be aware of when they think of Richard Pryor. They think of Richard Pryor and those Gene Wilder movies, or Richard Pryor in like a film like Brewster's Millions or his stand-up comedy bits. But this is a very deeply personal story that gives you a semi-autobiographical look into Richard Pryor's life. It basically starts off and takes place in the time that he famously accidentally burned himself and went into the hospital, and then that sets in motion his memories of his time growing up and some of the events in his life. It is just a very personal, interesting take on Richard Pryor that I think a lot of people have never seen before. And I'm so happy that Criterion added this to the collection. And the 4K, I have to say, a lot of 4Ks look great. This is an absolutely stunning 4K. I mean, this is from 1986, and this film looks so beautiful on this 4K. I was absolutely blown away at how beautiful this 4K looks. This is one of my favorite editions of the year of 2025 so far from Criterion. And this one has a pretty good chance of landing on my top 10 or at least honorable mentions, but we shall see. But Jojo Dancer, Your Life is Calling is a revelation. It is a vital piece of Black cinema, and it's a testament to Pryor's brilliance beyond the stand-up comedy stage. So definitely consider Jojo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. Fantastic film, Richard Pryor. That gives us 6 down, so we're just over halfway through the list. We got 5 more to go. A beautiful 5, and these are 5 incredible films. So we're now done with the 1980s. We're getting into the 1990s now, and this is a film that is a powerful film from the Hughes brothers. This is a Hughes brothers film. It is one of the very first 4K releases from the Criterion Collection, along with Citizen Kane, when Criterion jumped into the format in 2021. This is an amazing film. It is Menace to Society from directors Albert and Alan Hughes. Just an absolutely fantastic film. Screenwriter Tiger Williams. Just an amazing film. It's a landmark of 90s urban cinema. It pulls no punches in the depiction of violence, hopelessness, and survival in South Central LA. Directed by the Hughes brothers. It's a raw, powerful, and brilliantly acted film. And it is just, it's a film that speaks on so many levels to what life is like for some people in this area of LA and Watts. And just seeing these two young people here, and one of them, his grandfather asks him a question. He asks him, "Do you care if you live or die?" And his answer to that question tells you everything you need to know. And I won't spoil it. I'll let you watch the film and you'll see what his answer is. But it is an absolutely fantastic film that I highly, highly recommend. It is Menace to Society. This is a cool addition because you can see here, you see the box here and the art. These are the two young men here. One of them is played by Lorenz Tate. And then this is the grandfather here. You know, just a fantastic film. Amazing, amazing film that I cannot recommend enough. Nice digipack presentation. The 4K picture looks amazing. Really nice presentation of this 1993 film. And I cannot recommend Menace to Society enough. It is spine number 1105 in the Criterion Collection. Some nice supplements that get into the Hughes brothers and their production of this film. This is a high recommendation on my list. Menace to Society. Nice 1990s urban drama at its best. So we got 4 more to go. Again, I hope you're getting a sense of the eclectic mix of these films. I mean, so far we've covered a silent classic. We've got a Western in here. We got a sci-fi thriller from the 1960s. We have a neo-noir film from the 1970s. We have a coming-of-age film starring the great Tom Cruise in Risky Business. We have a semi-autobiographical film from one of the great legends of comedy in Jojo Dancer. And we have a 1990 crime thriller urban classic in Menace to Society. So now we're going to go overseas. We're going to go overseas actually for the remainder of these films. So these are all international films for these last 4, starting with a film that when I saw this back in 2020, after it had won the Academy Award for Best Picture, making history as the first foreign language film to do so, I fell in love with this film. I absolutely love it. I bought it 3 times. I bought it on the first Blu-ray release. I got the 4K, and then I got the Blu-ray edition of Parasite. This is Parasite from the Criterion Collection, spine 1054. And this is a fantastic release, folks. This is a digipack as well. Am I doing this right? All right. This is a digipack as well that has the art that you'll see on the standard Blu-ray release here. It's a fantastic release. What sets this release apart from any other releases that have come out so far is the fact that you have the option of seeing Parasite in black and white. They have the black and white version on this disc here. So definitely check that out. That is definitely a reason to consider this. Actually, I think it might be on the second disc because they have 2 discs. So I believe it might be on the second disc. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But you have the option of seeing the color version, which most people have seen, but they also include a black and white version that you can see, which gives a slightly different feel to the film. So Parasite is just one of those great, great films. You've probably seen it, but it is definitely worth owning. This is Bong Joon-ho's Oscar-winning masterpiece in a genre-defying roller coaster. It's part thriller, it's part dark comedy, it's part social commentary in terms of the haves and the have-nots. It takes place in South Korea, in Seoul, South Korea. So you have different areas of Seoul. You have this rich family and you have this poor family, and this poor family who is led by Song Kang-ho, who has played in a number of Bong Joon-ho films. They are basically infiltrating the rich family and taking advantage of the rich family, and it is hysterically funny how they go about doing it. This is a fantastic Criterion Collection release. It's one of the best, really one of the best presentations of this film that you can get, even in comparison to the 4K that's out there. It's a great picture on 4K. You get the black and white option, and this is a fantastic film, probably the best film from Bong Joon-ho, the Academy Award winner for Best Picture from 2019, Parasite, spine 1054. All right, 3 more to go. Now we're going to the continent of Africa, and we're going to 2020, which was a year that none of us will ever forget. But this is a year in which a film by African director Ekwa Masanji presented to us a different type of a film that I highly recommend. It is Spine 1128, and this is called Farewell Amore. I have reviewed this on this channel. It's a tender, beautifully told immigrant drama by Ekwa Masanji. It's basically about a man who is from Africa, who comes to the United States, who actually came to the United States probably 16 or 18 years ago, a number of years ago, to work and make money to send back to his family so they could eventually come to the United States. So he's a taxi driver in New York City trying to make it. Eventually, his family rejoins him, his wife and his daughter, who is now no longer a baby when he left her. She's now a teenager. And this family has to figure out, after so many years of being apart, how do they bring their family back together? Is this going to work out? Has too much time passed by? Do we still know each other? Is there still hope for us to continue our family in this situation here? They've been apart for so long. So just an amazing, amazing film, seeing these characters work through this situation together. It tells a story of an Angolan family reuniting in New York after years apart. And it explores cultural disconnection, love, and healing. Farewell Amore is intimate, richly acted, and filled with life. Criterion, giving it the spotlight, ensures that voices like Masanji's get the platform they deserve. It's one of those quiet films that stays with you. So definitely recommend Farewell Amore. It is a wonderful film. If you're looking for something a little bit different, maybe that's not in that category of mainstream film like Risky Business or films that you may have heard of before. This is just something different. And that's what I like about Criterion is I like the fact that they do have some of the mainstream stuff that most people have heard of. And they have some nice, classic cinema and silent films and different things. But to have nice discoveries like this from directors that you may not have heard of, like Ekwa Masanji, it's a nice opportunity to discover something new. And that's why I included it in this list. It's a fantastic film and one that you might want to consider adding to your collection. And you're probably not going to hear Farewell Amore in other recommendations videos. So that's why I want to make sure that someone mentions it. So might as well be me. So 2 more to go. We're leaving the continent of Africa, and we are going back over to Korea, where we're going to buddy up with director Ryosuke Hamaguchi. And this is a wonderful film that's in multiple languages from 2021, so it came out the year after Farewell Amore. It is Drive My Car. This is a long film. It's 179 minutes, so it's just under 3 hours. And man, is this film incredibly fascinating. It's a 3-hour Japanese film about grief, art, and human connection that doesn't sound like a crowd pleaser. It's not the kind of film that a lot of people are going to think about in terms of popcorn entertainment. But Drive My Car is nothing short of profound. You have Hamaguchi adopts a Haruki Murakami story into something wholly cinematic with breathtaking pacing and emotional depth. This is what slow cinema can do when it's done masterfully. If you're in the mood for something meditative and soul-searching, this one's for you. And that's very important to keep in mind. This is not the type of a film that's going to be a fast-paced action type thing. This is one of those slow burn, meditative type films. And if you're in the mood for that, and that's up to you, if you're in the mood for that and you're open to watching a film like this, I think you'll be richly rewarded. It is an absolutely amazing film. I'll take a little bit of time to read the back of the case here. It says, only Ryosuke Hamaguchi, with his extraordinary sensitivity to the mysterious resonances of human interactions, could sweep up international awards, including the Oscar for Best International Feature, right here. This actually beat out The Worst Person in the World, I think, for that award that year. And galvanize audiences everywhere with a pensive 3-hour movie presented in 9 languages, and adapted from Haruki Murakami's stories about an experimental staging of an Anton Chekhov play. With Drive My Car, the Japanese director has confirmed his place among contemporary cinema's most vital voices. 2 years after his wife's unexpected death, a man arrives in Hiroshima to direct a production of Uncle Vanya for a theater festival. And through relationships with an actor with whom he shares a tangled history and a chauffeur, the young lady here who drives his car, they find himself facing a chauffeur with whom he develops a surprising rapport. He finds himself facing up to his emotional scars. So his wife passed away. He's going to go direct his play in Hiroshima. And he develops relationships with some of the people involved in the play, as well as his driver. And it sort of helps him find himself and deal with the pain of his past. This quietly mesmerizing tale of love, art, grief, and healing is ultimately a cathartic exploration of what it means to go on living when there seems to be no road ahead. I've seen this once. It is an amazing film. It is a long film, a long watch. But if you're up for something like this, I think you'll be richly rewarded. It is Drive My Car. It won Best International Feature at the Oscars for a reason. And when you see it, you'll see why. Multiple languages. What languages are in this film? Well, you have Japanese, English, Korean, Korean Sign Language, German, Mandarin, Tagalog, Indonesian, and Malay with English subtitles. So you can read that there. Hopefully it's focusing. I don't know if it is or not, but incredible. This is an amazing film, and the way they switch between the different languages at different points in the film is also really interesting and a very fun part of watching this movie. All right, 10 down, one more to go, the last film. Now we're getting all the way to 2023. Started out in 1923 with Woman of Paris. Now it's 100 years later. 100 years later, and it's interesting. A Woman of Paris is an American film that the story takes place in Paris. This is a 2023 film that takes us to France as well. Maybe not exactly Paris, but Anatomy of a Fall from 2023. I just made that connection that, a woman in Paris, she's in France, and this film takes place in France. But anyway, this is a film by Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall. This is the story of a woman whose husband falls from the top of a roof, and she unfortunately goes on trial because she is suspected as potentially, maybe, possibly having something to do with it. And so the trial is involved with her possibly having something to do with it. Her son was in the vicinity, her young son, so he goes on the stand, and it's a very complex story. The relationship between her and the lawyer and her son and the dynamics of this trial are incredibly fascinating to watch in this story. This is a fairly new addition to the Criterion Collection. It's a absolutely perfect courtroom drama for the current moment. It is morally complex, it's psychologically gripping, and it's anchored by a powerhouse performance by Sandra Hüller right here, which you may have heard about her during one of the recent Oscars ceremonies. She got a lot of buzz, and when you see this film, you will understand why. It's directed by Justine Triet. It's both a mystery and a meditation on the stories we tell about relationships, guilt, and truth. It is an absolutely fascinating film. This film comes in at 151 minutes, so it's about 2.5 hours. It is in French and English with English subtitles. It's interesting how it does have, this is a film that is in France, but it has a 50 Cent song in it, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Near the beginning of this film. Definitely check that out. But this is a really good film from Justine Triet from 2023, starring Sandra Hüller, called Anatomy of a Fall. This is a really good film that goes along with another film. Another film that's also from France. I'll go ahead and give you a bonus recommendation. Saint Omer, another French courtroom drama that is absolutely fantastic from Alice Diop. That's another good one. But yeah, included in my 11 are Anatomy of a Fall. So there you have it. Those are my 11 recommendations for this Criterion Collection sale. Let me give you the rundown right here. We have A Woman of Paris. We have Winchester 73. We have Seconds. We have Night Moves. Beautiful film on 4K Ultra HD along with Winchester 73. We have Risky Business from 1983, Jojo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. Both of these are on 4K from the 1980s. Menace to Society is on 4K Ultra HD from 1991 from the Hughes brothers. We have Parasite on Blu-ray, Farewell Amore on Blu-ray, Drive My Car on Blu-ray, and Anatomy of a Fall. These are all excellent, excellent titles to consider adding to your collection. Let me know in the comments section below, what do you think about these films? Have you seen them? Do you have these in your collection? What are some other recommendations that you would recommend for this Criterion Collection sale? And what is your excitement meter for this upcoming sale? Is it high? Is it moderate? Is it low? Let me know all that in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.